Hey everyone, welcome. Happy Monday. Hope you've all had a great weekend and a great day today. Now, anyone who is new on the call, just make sure that you've muted your sound out down the bottom. So if you scroll your little cursor over down the bottom, you'll see a microphone on the left. You can mute yourself out. I think everyone's muted. Liz, can you just mute your sound out? Beautiful. And Nicola, hey love. Can you find the microphone down the bottom left? Just click on it and it will
I think I'm muted. I've just unmuted myself.
Okay. No, it's still saying that you're live. Welcome to the call. Excited to have you here. There you go. Oh, you've Tom on as well? Have you got two on?
No, I've come on twice because my screen's cracked on my phone. So
Right. Okay.
Audio computer, all right?
No dramas at all. All right, so welcome. Happy Monday. So for those of you who don't know me, my name's Sheridan. You would have seen me on the call, but I haven't trained with you guys for a little while. So bear with me. I'm a little bit nervous. This is not my thing, but I'm excited to be here nonetheless. So would it be okay if I just share a little bit about my story, just for people who haven't heard the full version? You might have seen my 30-second story on the Team Free page, but no one's really heard my whole story. So would that be okay? Give me a thumbs up. Yes? Okay, so 3.5 years ago, I thought it was 100% normal to have 3 kids to be exhausted all the time. Okay, so I had no motivation to do anything particularly well. My kids were all at school. I'd been a stay-at-home mum for 7 to 16 years. At that stage, probably 14 years. And it didn't light me up. So the kids would all go off to school and I felt like I was the maid. Can anyone relate? Yeah, I was a pretty grumpy housewife. So I ended up back into hospitality. I needed to do something with myself. I wanted to contribute, but as most of you would know, it's not that easy to juggle being a mum, having a husband that travels a lot, and being able to be there for your kids and be there for all the after school activities and, you know, be there for their sports days and all of that. So hospitality seemed to be a good fit for a little while. And until I realized that, you know, I was unhealthy, I was working crazy hours, I was spending a lot of time away from my family working nights, and that wasn't, you know, working for me either. So I left the hospitality gig and I ran into Rachel McConnell and we got chatting, and it didn't take her very long to realize that she had a solution for me. So I jumped on board with the product and loved the product, had a great product experience. By day 2, my coffee and sugar cravings completely disappeared. By about day 11, I woke up a different person. So I woke up excited to get out of bed. In the morning, the kids thought that I was crazy. They're like, what have you done with mum? And I started looking into the business side of things as well. So I was very coachable, and I had 2 brilliant coaches in Rach and Greg. As you know, they're amazing trainers. So I just followed their lead. I was ignorance on fire, 100%. And I raced to Crystal Exec. So within 4 months, I hit Crystal Exec. I won a trip, an ISA Derby with them to Hawaii with Nikita and Nathan and Rach and Greg. And that was amazing, absolutely amazing. Had no idea how I'd done it. And then 2 weeks later, got home and got another postcard in the mail saying I'd won a trip to Arizona. So just mind-blowing, the generosity of this company and the things that you can achieve if you just go for it. So if there's one thing that I can tell you guys, is ignorance on fire is amazing, but just follow the leaders and grow your skills. And so 3.5 years later, I tell people that I do this full time, but looking at the work that Rach and Greg and Rach Pedretti put in, and, Sarah and Bronnie that are going for it at the moment, I am going to be completely raw and honest with you guys, and I don't put the full-time hours in. I'm still racing around with the 3 kids, and I love doing this, but at the moment I have been doing it probably more part-time. So, it goes like this, ebbs and flows, ebbs and flows. This year, I'm ready to run. So who's ready to run with me? Yeah, anyone? Alisa, thanks, girl. Okay, so that's a little bit about my story, just to give you an idea of, where I've come from. So what I want to do first is just give a shout out to a few people who have been amazing this last week. So the first person is Bronnie. She's not on the call tonight. They're living it up in Fiji. Lucky them. So Rach Pedretti and Rach McConnell and Greg and Sarah and her whole family and Bronnie and Brian are over in Fiji. Oh, and Amy as well. So we need to give a big shout out to them and just go, whoa, you guys are awesome, and have fun. But Bronnie did an amazing job doing last week's team call. I've watched the replay a couple of times, and I hope you guys got heaps of notes and heaps of nuggets from that. Also, Louisa. Where's Louisa? It's so funny not being able to see everybody at once. But Louisa did a phenomenal job last Tuesday night presenting our Business of the Future presentation. Now, the courage that it takes to jump on and, do these presentations, I just applaud you, Louisa, and you did a phenomenal job. And Urena for jumping in and doing a Business of the Future call as well for us last week. So last week, I know that Bronnie and Rach both touched on events that are coming up, and I cannot express enough how important events are if you want to build this business. So not only you getting to events, but taking people with you. So we need to leverage as much as we can, leverage the training from amazing leaders and leverage our time as well. So I've got a beautiful girl on the call tonight, Nicola, and I want to do a big shout out to her as well for coming all the way with her husband Tom last week to the Business Revolution event that Alan Hilsinger ran, all the way from Barwon Heads, made the trip in on the Sunday, and it was her first ever event. So I would love, Nicola, just to unmute, just a quick 30 seconds, 1 minute, introduce yourself, say hi, and if you could just give us, 1 or 2 things that you took away from that event, and, what you thought of the culture, what you thought of the training, and did it build your belief in the company and network marketing at all?
I'd say absolutely yes. I was always, one of those ones with it's a pyramid scheme and how would you sell it? But I think the things that I took out of it was that everybody seemed to be very authentic, and it was just normal, everyday people that can do this business and make a success of it. I did write some notes down and I can't even get to them now. Bear with me a second. So, and the thing I liked was the you economy, and the fact that anybody has got the ability to be able to do this, and you are your biggest asset. I very much took that out of it, and the fact that there is lots of support available and there's lots of information on it as well, so you're not here doing it by yourself, and that everybody's here to support you. So I left feeling that this is something that I could do, and it's something that I do want to have a look at doing, and it did inspire me to want to go to the next step. And I've started to talk to my friends, I've started to talk to the guys that I work with, and just telling them about how I found my first 30 days doing what I've been doing. So I found it very useful.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing, Nicola. You're amazing. Everyone give Nicola one of our Team Free salutes. That's what we do when we want to congratulate someone, because we can't all unmute at the one time. So we celebrate people like crazy. But thank you so much for jumping on and sharing. And Nicola is crazy busy. She's full-time. Would you like to share what you do?
I work at Ford Motor Company. I'm a supervisor there, and I work crazy hours because I spend a lot of my time on the phone in the US. So I'd say on average around about a 50 to 60 hour week. Plus I've got 2 kids, house and everything else. So for me, being able to get something on the side that can get me out of my everyday would be awesome. So yeah.
That was exactly my next question is, what do you want more of? More time, more money, more energy, all of the above. So
All of the
yeah, and you're definitely in the right place. So thank you, beautiful, for jumping on and sharing. And I just want to let you guys know, I know that, again, Rach and Bronnie touched on it last week, but there's quite a few events that are coming up for everyone on the call, because I know that we've got people from all over Australia and New Zealand. So University in Action is in Sydney this year. We haven't got a University in Action in Melbourne. So for all of our Melbourne crew, we need to be onto that. We need to be getting our accommodation sorted, sharing rooms. We do that so well. So make sure that you're talking to each other and, make it happen. Make it as affordable for yourselves and people that you can bring along. And jump on and get your ticket because it will sell out, guys. So that's on June the 14th and to the 16th in Sydney. And the Gold Coast event is the following week on June 21st till the 23rd. So, and New Zealand, you guys have to wait until November unless you want to fly over and see us. So, and there's actually an event before University in Action, and that's ISA Uni. Okay, so both of the events are a little bit different. And ISA Uni, for those of you who haven't been to one, is a 2-day event with amazing trainers, and you're just immersed in, again, the culture and training from lots of different people. Whereas a UIA, I get confused and tongue-tied between the two. A UIA is a University in Action, and it's all about personal development. It's my favourite event of the year. I love them all, but David T.S. Wood is a master trainer, and he works with Isogenics and gives us his time for a ridiculously low price. And you walk in one person, and seriously, you walk out a different person. 10 foot tall and bulletproof is the goal of that weekend. So if there's any event that I wouldn't miss, it's the UIA. And yeah, so has anyone got their tickets already? I know Rach asked last week and Amy had hers. Has anyone jumped on this week and grabbed their tickets for those events? Anyone who's new, when you get your first pack, if you sign up on a premium pack or an ultimate pack, you actually get a coupon in your back office. So make sure that you're using those coupons for our Isogenics run events so that you can get your ticket a little bit cheaper. So, okay, last week Bronnie trained on belief. So has anyone gone away and increased their belief in one of the areas that you did your numbers for last week? Does anyone want to unmute and share if they have gone up or gone down? I know that the one of those areas that fluctuates in my mind and my belief is the one that is a really common one, and that's me doing network marketing. It's so easy if your mindset isn't up there all the time to get caught up in comparison and to get caught up in distractions and everything else that's going on. Does anyone relate to that? Yeah, Louisa, I can see you nodding. So does anyone want to unmute and share if they've gone up or down this week in one of those areas? No, that's okay.
Oh, hi.
Oh, Louisa.
Hey, Ben. Hi, how you doing?
Yeah, good, honey.
That's good. Yeah, so probably my lowest denominator was, there was 2 that were similar, but yeah, one of them was myself. So not myself necessarily in network marketing, but just myself in general. And so I just kind of searched that out this week and was trying to figure out what that was all about. And I think it was just believing that I can kind of manage, my whole life, not just Isogenics, but Isogenics and my family, Isogenics and my husband and his work, and because I really support him as much as I can and really believe in what he does. So I think there was a part of me that was like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this all. And having that that belief in my mind, telling that story to myself at times, maybe it was subconsciously holding me back in certain moments or areas. Maybe I wasn't following through or didn't have complete confidence in sort of situations. So that was something that I thought of and kind of highlighted to myself this week. So that was good.
And thank you so much for sharing. That's awesome. That will help so many people on the call, because there's so many, people on here that are trying to juggle everything. And it's so common, isn't it, that the first thing that you doubt is yourself. Always. So did you come up with any strategies to overcome that, or?
Yeah, well, look, for me, it always comes back to my faith. That's just me. Like, that's where I draw my strength from, because I know that I've got everything that I need. I just sometimes forget it. So really for me, just pressing into God and making sure that I'm really consistent in reading my Bible and my prayer time, because that's where I draw my strength from. And, that's where I can kind of leave all of the rubbish stories that I tell myself. Like, I just kind of surrender them and hand them over to Him and just put my eyes back on the prize and just get going again. So for me, that's really always my strength. So I was able to do that this week and just get that back at the forefront of my mind every day and just do my best. And then really the results are kind of beyond me. Like, I can only do what I can do. And then the results are really, I believe that they're not totally in my control, So as long as I know that I'm doing everything that I can do, then I've just got to trust God with the timing and with what happens and all of that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing. And, one thing that I always go back to is personal development, 100%. So I know that if I'm doubting myself, that it's usually, coming from either not being organized, not using my time efficiently. So time management and scheduling everything in so that you don't become overwhelmed. So, yeah. Now, I've got a beautiful girl who's going to jump on. She also has been to an event just recently and would love to do an activity with you guys, because I know that a lot of people, we've done a lot of training on this before, but if you're not really, really solid with why you're doing the things that you're doing, then it can be very easy to be going down a path or to be going around in circles and, not getting anywhere. So the beautiful Nikita, who's down in Tassie, has been to a Super Saturday and was one of the trainers at Super Saturday, alongside with, Heidi McAllen, who's phenomenal, and would love to do just a really quick and short activity with you guys, just to rethink and to really solidify your why. So I'm going to hand it over to you, Kate. And has everyone got a pen and paper? Because I'm pretty sure that you're going to need one.
Yeah.
Awesome.
If you don't have a pen and paper, guys, I really suggest you do. I know that sometimes, when we say it, people, they don't have it in front of them, but I'm not going to get you guys to share what you write down or anything like that. It's going to be for you guys, and it's a different way of doing your why. So like Sheridan said before, we had a Super Sunday actually down here in Tassie that I organised myself, being that I'm the only executive here in Tassie at the minute. So with me. So because of that, I had to go forward and actually organise an event for the whole state, which was very nerve-wracking. But took it on, and we got Heidi McCallan down, which was absolutely amazing. And I just said, you know what, Heidi, I want you just to do the whole day. Now, Liv's on here. Liv, you were able to come as well, which was great. And you know, she got to learn from Heidi and experience the real Heidi. Heidi literally came, like, I'm talking casual. She's just like, I'm going to train you guys. I'll train my team, and there's no fluff. I'm like, oh my gosh, about time. Like, it was incredible. So one thing that she done with us, though, is she got us to do our why. So I'm going to ask you guys a question. I'm just going to do exactly what she did, which it's only going to take us like a few minutes, but it's really going to kind of nut down a few things that you don't really realize. So just pop your hand up. Like I said, I'm not going to ask you guys to share, but pop your hand up if you think you know your why. So if you think you know your why and why you're sharing Isagenix, pop your hand up. Okay, cool. So that's about 50% of you guys think you know your why. Okay, so what we're going to do is, what on your piece of paper, I'm going to play a song. The song goes for nearly 4 minutes. Okay, this song, I give you permission to cry. I give you permission to open up your heart. I give you permission to open up your emotions. I give you permission to do whatever you need to do, to scream, to what, as long as you're not going to wake someone up in the house. I give you permission just to be so open with yourself. I want you to write down, though, on your piece of paper, I want you to write your first sentence on what you think your why is. And this is when I play the music. Don't worry about it till I play it. But then what I want you to do is then go, but why that? So say this is just an example. So say if I said, I'm doing this because of my children. They deserve more. But why do my children deserve more? Why do I want them to have more? My next sentence might be, because as I was younger, I went without, coming from, you know, a very poor family. But then why, you know, and then I want you to continue to write. So for these 4 minutes, I don't want your pen to lift off the paper at all. You can write whatever it is. If it's just words that are coming off your head, if it's emotional words, just write these down on this piece of paper. Be raw about it, okay? I'm going to do it again as well, because when I did this, it really I'm like, oh my God, I'm not going to cry. Come on, Heidi. Like, I cried in the first 3 seconds. I was like, oh my gosh, like, this is just mind blowing. And I really got my why down, but today I'm going to go for it again and see if I get something else, because she said that you can continue to do this. You can do it like every week, every month, and it's always going to change. But it's going to fire you up to keep going, because our whys are never the same. It wasn't the same as last year. And if you've done your why 3 years ago and you think you still know it, that's not your why. Like, your why is totally different now to why you're doing it. So I'm going to get a song on. Like I said, it's going to be emotional. Hopefully you guys can hear it. When the song stops, then we'll stop, and then I'm just going to share about what you guys wrote down. And yeah, so pen and paper's out, guys. Shares, tell me, can you hear that? Yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
Go for it, guys.
Say something, I'm giving up on you. I'll be the one if you want me to. Anywhere I would have followed you. Say something, I'm giving up on you. And I'm feeling so small. It was over my head. I know nothing at all. And I will stumble and fall. I'm still learning to love. Just starting to crawl. sorry that I couldn't get to you. Anywhere I would have followed you. Say something, I'm giving up on you. I will swallow my pride. You're the one that I love, and I'm saying goodbye. Say something, I'm giving up on you. I'm sorry that I couldn't get to you. Anywhere I would have followed you. Say something, I'm giving up on you. Say something, I'm giving up on you. Say something.
Okay, guys. So that was 4 minutes, and it goes pretty fast. So when we actually done it, we done it for 10, and, you know, I give you guys permission to do it another time. And, you know, if you have Spotify, just bring up a playlist, crying music, sad music, something that's going to really pull them emotions, and go for it. You could spend half an hour and really writing. Who actually jotted down a fair bit? Like you don't have to share, but who actually, like, I wrote down like a lot. Like, it doesn't look like much, but my pen did not come up. Yeah. So I just want to, I did say before I wasn't going to get anyone to share, but could someone, like, not share with me, but someone open up to me and I ask a couple of questions about what they wrote? Is that okay? I don't need to be, you know, I'm not going to get personal, but I want to show you guys then how you can break down what you've done and how you can go then forward into really nutting out that why. Does anyone? Urena, yeah?
Hi.
Hey.
When you asked first, can you turn it down? Thanks. About, you know, if you know what your why is.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when I started the business, I thought I did, but for the last probably 12 months, I really haven't. That's why I haven't put my hand up. What I've written down is more about, okay, I just want to win in life. I want to live a life of significance.
Yep.
I don't want to miss my purpose in my life. And it's got to be more than just about me.
Yeah.
And I know there is more, and I know I'm entitled to it, and I know it's my birthright. That's all that I've written down. So I still really have to take, spend a lot of time still to really figure out in a nutshell, okay, what is it for me? So if you can give me some ideas, that'll be great.
Well, yeah, of course. So could you let me know what was the very first sentence? What was the very first few words that you wrote? Just the very first few words.
I just want to win.
Beautiful. What about the last few words you wrote?
It's my birthright.
Beautiful. So I'm going to ask, the last sentence that you wrote, what makes that so significant to you? Like, what does it mean to you to do that?
It means to me that sort of believing in who I am and whose I am, and that we have all the ability, all the opportunity, and really all empowerment within us to be, to have, to do, and not doing it. That's what pisses me off.
So has something happened in your life to make you feel like that, to make you feel, you know, that you need to take that next step? And you know what? It can be something, you know, because when we feel these emotions, guys, and when we're saying these sentences, we may not know, but there may be something that have happened in our life. We may have been a child, we may have been a teenager, it could have been an early adulthood, and it's something that made us kind of realize. So is there something that made you feel like, or an event that happened that made you feel like that?
That brought me to this stage, you mean?
Yeah, that made you feel like that, you know, when you just said how you know, like it peed you off. Like, was there something that triggers your mind that, you know, brings you to that emotion?
Yeah, pretty much. Every day my personal development brings me to it, because I sort of feel like I know what to do. I know, but I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
So comes then back to me thinking, you know, what's wrong with me, you know?
Yeah.
Where's my why that drives me?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, go, Louisa. I'm like about to be Rach.
Hi, yeah, sorry, I'm logged in as Rach. Yeah, I just wanted to add, you know, like the why is, it's such a big thing. Like, we hear so much about it lately, and sometimes it can almost become like just this big black hole sometimes. It's like we don't know how to get to it. And I totally agree with you, Nikita, how you said that your why changes. And I think sometimes we expect it to be like this huge, like unbelievable, totally life-changing, brand new, totally individual thing that no one else has ever thought of to be our why. But it's really whatever is important to us and to our lives right now. So when I think of my why personally, my why kind of changes every 30 days. So I actually break it down a little bit in regard to like goals, right? So I've got a why over my life and over business and stuff like that. But every 30 days, I'm like, why am I doing it now? Like, for example, we needed a new gate. The gate that we had at my house was like the worst. And so at the start of the year, I was like, we need a new gate. The dogs are going to like get really hurt if we keep this gate. It could like really seriously hurt them. We need a new gate. So on top of, you know, everything else, my why was like, I need a new gate for my dogs. And that might not seem so like spiritual or amazing, but it's real and it's relevant. And that's what kept me going some days. It was like, oh, this is all too hard. This is annoying. But it's like, well, you know, I've got everything, all my responsibilities that I've got to do. But on top of that, like, if I want my dogs safe and if I want that new gate, like, I need to get a few more, you know, enrollments this week, or I need to get this, or I need to get that. So sometimes the why can be breaking it down into little goals, like 90-day goals, things that you're trying to achieve. So it might be like a rank. It might be like a financial goal. It might be, for me, like I said, it was the gate at that time. It might be booking a holiday. I think it's good to kind of revisit why you do what you do every 90 days and set a little goal and intention, and it keeps you focused just heading towards that. But that's probably different than like your whole life why around your business. I think that doesn't change as often, but the changing, like the motivation, like we want to know our why just for motivation. That's really like, I think it's a goal. Like it's a goal that we set probably every kind of quarter, something that we're working towards, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I absolutely love that, Louise. Especially because mind blank. Especially because you got to be setting yourself. There is goals, and you got to be reaching them. But you will get to the certain point, and I'm going to use Sheridan, Urena, and myself as an example. When you kind of reach to that level, and we go, now what? We go, okay, we've hit that rank, or we've made that money, and now we go, now what? Do you know what I mean? And we all get there. Sometimes it's because we've been here for I've been here for 3.5 years, and I go, when I first came in, it was because Rachel reached out and said, hey, Nikita, do you want to run with us in this Hawaii derby? And I had no idea. I wasn't even building yet. I was like, oh, yeah, and then, of course, that became my why. I wanted to go. I'd never left the country before, and I had it up. It's like, I want to leave the country. Let's do it. But going off that, can I ask you as well, Louisa, can I ask you what yours was, what we done? So can I ask you what your first, since you're opening sharing, what was your first sentence?
For financial freedom.
Beautiful. And what was your last?
To be able to contribute. Okay.
So what makes it so significant to you to be able to contribute? Contribute to what?
Contribute to my church and to different organizations that we support to help the people that are in need.
Beautiful. And what makes it so significant for you to be able to contribute to the church and to people in need? What's it going to do for you?
I guess I get a sense of satisfaction, but it's important to me because it's a conviction that I've got, that I just believe that we're blessed to be a blessing. I don't want financial freedom and then I'm going to go and live on a yacht. I want financial freedom so that I can help other people who need something, who need a solution, who are, who are lost or stuck in a hard place.
Yeah. So I love this, and see, so I don't know about you guys tonight, but when we have kind of said about our why, have you noticed how Urena and Louisa, you kind of get to that point and you kind of oh, hold on, I've got to ask myself that next question. And it does, I've noticed Louisa and Urena, both your eyes went up into the air, oh, hold on, I didn't think about that. What does it actually mean? What significance does that mean to me? And before I move on, is it okay if I share what I wrote down? I'm very open and honest and raw when I write things, so please bear with me because I like to give. So my very first statement was, I want more money for my family. It's always been about my kids from day dot. And then my last one was, I want out of this trap. So I asked myself, what's so significant about wanting to be out of this trap? And I think about, I'm sick of having to scrape for money week after week. It's crap. I hate it. What is that so significant about that, about trying to get out of that? I'm sick of feeling that that my children are going without, that I have to decide on bread or milk. It's crap. It's, again, what's so significant then again about, having to get them things though for my family, because they deserve so much more. Because my family deserves to just not just decide on some bread and some milk. My family should deserve to decide on which holiday they should be going on. Not about the bread and the milk that's coming in at the end of the week, just to be able to, get up in the morning and have some breakfast. My family deserve more. Can you see how, it's not sometimes when we're doing our why, it's not just about, because we just deserve some little bit more money or, something like that. It's, why? Like, where's that money actually going to go? Like, be real with yourself. That was me literally being real with you guys. Like, you know, I may have hit 3-star, but I have no other job. Like, a lot of people are doing this part-time and they have work. I don't have another job, like, at all. We live off one income, and it's not a high income. Like, Tassie incomes are not high. So, and we have a family of 3, well, family of 5, I should say, 3 kids and a house mortgage, every other bill on top. And I still am scraping by, and my family deserves more. And I know I can do that. So it's a great exercise anyway to be able to do it again and again and again, because you'll nut out so much more. When I done it with the 10 minutes, I wrote 3 pages full, and it was crazy. Some of the words that come up was just like, wow. So I hope you guys got a little bit more out of that, about really nutting down your why, because it could be more than just going on a holiday. It could be literally that you deserve more than just bread and milk on the shopping list at the end of the week. So, yeah. Over to you, Shez.
Oh, wow, Kate. That was so powerful. Amazing. Now, I've done so many exercises over the last, 3.5, nearly 4 years that I've been doing this. And no matter how many times you do it, like Nikita said, something else will always come up. So I wrote down half a page, and there's things on there that I haven't written down before. So, yeah, it's a good one just to keep revisiting, because, if it doesn't get you out of bed in the morning and it doesn't get you, doing the work when you don't want to do it, then, your business is going to either flatline, it's going to go backwards. You will see, a consequence of not really connecting with why you're doing it. So did everyone get something out of that? Pretty emotional, pretty awesome. So the other way that you can think of your why is what hurts you. Okay, so as Louisa said, it can be, as simple as wanting to get a new gate. But once you have that, then what? We want to get past the smaller goals, as well as growing this into a legitimate business, so that you can have that financial freedom and dream bigger than the front gate, dream so big that it's crazy. So that was amazing, and that took up a little bit more time than we thought it would, which is great. Does anyone have anything they want to add to that before I move on? Complete change of pace. Okay, so what I wanted to do with you guys tonight is talk about connecting with people and finding people. So who is reasonably new and they've still got family and friends that they're talking to, they're still going through their Facebook list, they've still got what we consider to be an easy list or, a warm market. Put your hand up if that is you. You've still got, people that you can reach out to. Yeah, awesome. So can I ask another question? Who has been here for a little bit longer and feels like they've exhausted their prospects? Yeah, Liv, I can see you waving. Keith, Prem. So who would love to know a few ways that you can have unlimited prospects, unlimited people to talk to? Would that excite you? Yeah, because like we've spoken about over the last couple of weeks, I know Sarah's mentioned it, and I know that Bronnie mentioned it last week. People are our stock. Okay, if we run out of people to talk to, then that's our business, right? So, and we want to help as many people as we can. So I want to go through 5 steps to creating unlimited prospects. Yeah, would that be cool? Awesome. So this comes from Eric Worre, training by Eric Worre, the master trainer. Now, I know when I got started, I had the misconception that the length of your list and the quality of people on your list was going to determine, your success in network marketing. Has anyone thought that? They've kind of looked at their list and gone, oh my God, I can't do this. I don't know enough people. My network isn't big enough. I live in a small town. I live in Tasmania. I can't do this. Liv, you're down in Tasmania too. It can be a real cause for anxiety in this industry. But, what I've found after 3.5 years is that by talking to the leaders and talking to people who are earning high income in this business, it's not about who you know now, it's about who you're going to meet. Okay, so most of the leaders, if you ask them, the people that they're working with now in this business, they weren't on their original list. They were people that they've met along the way. Okay, so does that excite some of you? Yes. So if you've asked your mum and you've asked your sister and they've both said no, it's okay. There's still hope. So the first thing, number one, is instead of just having a scrap of paper or a whiteboard or, somewhere on your phone that you've got your list of like 20 people, 50 people, however many people it is at the moment, I want you to get a book, like an exercise book, like this. And it's a separate book to the one that you write your notes in. It's a separate book to everything else. And that is the book that you're going to write your active list. So number one is that you're going to have an active prospect list. Okay. So what you need to do is think about every single person that you have ever met. It's an overwhelming thought, isn't it? So what we need to do is we need to get all of those people out of our heads and into that book. Whether you're planning on talking to them about Isagenix or not is irrelevant, but you need to get them out of your head. So a really great way, to jog your memory, you can go to networkmarketingpro.com/memory jogger, and there's a free exercise on there by Eric Worre. But, think about all the way back to your childhood. So think about people you went to school with. Think about all the sports that you did. Think about, your family, your cousins, your aunties, uncles, friends from mother's group. So just go through and categorize different groups, and every single person in that group, write them on that list. Okay, has anyone done that already? Yeah, Liv, good job. Louisa, awesome. Okay, now the reason why we call it an active prospect list is because number two is you want to be constantly, and that's the key word, constantly expanding your list. Okay, so how do we do that? So it's not about those people that you have already met. As I said, it's about people that you're going to meet. So it doesn't have to be a prospect. You don't have to talk about Isagenix. People that you meet while you're out and about, people that you meet through friends, people that you meet on the weekend. We're all out and about. We're all social people. And if you're not, that's okay as well. If you're an introvert and this is really challenging for you, then, it just takes a little bit more work to energize your batteries. You can do this, and then you can go home and, have time to yourself and re-energize in your own space. But our goal is to be adding at least 2 people a day to that active list. So it might be someone that you remember that you hadn't thought of. It might be someone that you connect with on Facebook. It might be someone that you meet down the street or through your children or at work. So 2 a day. Nikita's an introvert, and look at her. Absolutely smashing it. Okay, so number 3, and this is an awesome one, is raise your awareness. So when you are out and about and you are in social situations, or you are, sorry, don't know who that was. Someone's unmuted. We're constantly coming into contact with amazing people. They're everywhere. And a lot of the time we don't see it, or we're not conscious of, adding to this list. So You know, when you're at a restaurant, if you get good service by the person who's serving you, make eye contact, say thank you, introduce yourself, ask them a question. You work here full time. What's your name? You've been amazing. Give them a compliment. Yeah, everyone can do that. And get them on Facebook. They become part of your list. Yeah. So, or, you know, last week, Bronnie also gave us ideas on, you know, try something new. Try a new hobby. You know, go to a different class. Write down the things that you're passionate about and do more of it. Surround yourself with, you know, people that you have things in common with. Okay. And number 4 is don't prejudge. Okay, so situations change for people. You never know what is happening in people's worlds. So, you know, you might have a cousin and you think, oh, there's no way that they would be interested. They do 80 hours a week at work. They're too busy. They're too this. They're too that. I'm not even going to bother asking. So Eric Warrior actually gave an example in this training of one of his cousins who was a pastor, and he was always traveling. He was always, you know, traveling around the country preaching, and he said he didn't even think of him. He wasn't on his list. He did not even think of him. He then found out that his cousin, actually 2 cousins, him and his brother, had joined another network marketing company, and they're in the top 10 income earners in another company because they were looking for more time. They were looking for ways, you know, to have more contribution, and they were looking for an opportunity, and he didn't think of them. So yeah, he was pretty upset about that one. Number 5 is network on purpose. So when you go out in the morning, you know, look at your day, look at where you're heading, and network on purpose. Have intention about connecting with people, about saying hi, about meeting someone that you haven't met before. So, you know, volunteer with a charity or just get out of the house. I know, you know, working from home like I do and like Keith does, and so many of you are on the call, it's so easy just to get caught up in your little bubble and behind Facebook and behind the screen. You know, I have to remind myself, get dressed, you know, put on a rocking outfit and go down the street, go down Main Street on market day. Go and sit in one of the 25 cafes in Mornington and get to know your community. Get to know the regulars that come in, and they will get to know you as well. So there's always ways that we can be adding to that active list. So does anyone have any questions about that or anything that they wanted to add? I just wanted to show you one more thing because it's 5 to 9, so conscious of the time. I know that everyone's on Facebook, right? Yeah. So Facebook, there's 1.3 billion people on Facebook. Then, you know, people are on there to connect with new people. They're on there to be social. So there's so many ways that we can find new people on social media, either by attracting them to us with our pages, but there's also ways that you can actually search for people and find people to talk to on there. So would you guys like to check that out and have a look at how we can do that? Just going to share my screen with you. Okay, so here's my Facebook page. If you click on the search bar up the top here, and I did a search today, you can actually type in different people, like with different attributes, I suppose, that you want to have a look at. So I typed in business owners in Australia, and it comes up with everyone in Australia who owns a business. Hang on, click on people. Now have a look at that. So you can go through, you can see people who have mutual friends with you. It tells you a little bit about what they do. And just from having a look through these people, you can tell the people who are a possible business builder, who are looking for an opportunity. You can tell people who are network marketers. You can see people who are affiliate marketers. So there's people on there that you can reach out to and add to your network. You can see the people who have a public profile, who obviously, you know, welcome new friends and meeting new people. And so you can go on and add people. Another way is to join Facebook groups. Yeah, so the things that you're passionate about. So I'm into photography, which Nikita is as well. I love to travel. So you can type in, you know, travel, and it will come up with all the different groups around travel, and then you can start connecting with people through that. Is that helpful? Has anyone done that before? Yeah. Okay. One more trick that I want to show you before we sign off. When do I get back home? Is there anyone who finds themselves scrolling through Facebook, trying to comment and, you know, to interact with their network and try and add value? Yeah, I used to do it for hours because I used to like to try and, you know, comment on my cleansers, you know, posts and stay in touch with them and find all my prospects and try and interact and, you know, build relationships with them. So for the people on the call who haven't seen this, I just want to show you one really cool thing to take all of that time away. So see here on the menu down the side here, it says friends list. So you can click on that and you can create as many different lists as you want. So these are all of mine. I've got my prospects, I've got my cleansers, and you know, I've got a few different ones. So you can click on create list and you can go through and you can add all of your prospects into one list. So 5 minutes a day, you can jump on and you can connect with people, you can add value and pour love on people and, you know, build rapport and build relationships really quickly without having to scroll. So has anyone not seen that before? Yeah, a few people. Awesome. So that's a really big time saver if you're working and you've got 5 minutes a day to do this and you want to, yeah, be pouring love into people and you want to be building and nurturing, you know, new friendships and new relationships. That's a really great way to do it. I really recommend that one. So I hope that you guys have got some value out of tonight's call. Nikita's piece was absolutely amazing. It's awesome to see so many of you on here. So make sure that you get your UIA tickets. I think Rach said in the chat here that we're trying to encourage most people to go to the Gold Coast if that's possible, so UIA. And so, yeah, make sure that you don't miss out. Yeah, there is an awesome Ninja Networker tool as well, Beck. I'd love to go into that, but we've run out of time. It is 9 o'clock. So did anyone have any questions or anything they wanted to add tonight? No? Thanks for putting up with me tonight. I haven't trained you guys for a little while, so I was a little bit nervous, a little bit like a fish out of water. But we got through it and hopefully you guys got some value out of it as well. So
Sheridan, I love when you take the calls.
Oh, thanks, Prem. You're so beautiful.
You are such a